Hey, this is Working Class Rich. This is Starsky Inspires. Today we're talking about maxing out your 401k. This is a topic, man, that many, that come on and they want to dissuade you from dealing with the 401k because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's gonna tie up your money. Yeah, you're right. It will tie up your money, but it's also giving you something too. You know what I'm saying? Along with a lot of the other additives. And when your company offers it, man, it's like getting free money. And understand in life there are no certainties other than taxes and death, those two things in many cases. So when you're doing the 401k, man, it's a huge upside, you know what I'm saying? And there's downsides too. And I got people, who's gonna give their opinion, man, and we're gonna do a reaction to it because I want to get those of you who haven't got started to get started. Those of you who have started, hey, I want you to look at, your contributions, man, and kind of start thinking about, where you want to be, years down the road. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing is certain. I'm not saying that, I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I am saying it's better than doing nothing. It's better than doing nothing, man. So we're going to be doing this reaction, man. I got some people lined up, man, that when I heard their response of different things, man, we got an assortment of those that feel one way versus the other. But it's good information for us to take in, man, because ever since I've been working, and I've been working since I've been 13 years old, and I just got caught on to the 401k once I got in my 30s, man. I was very rebellious against the 401k until in my 30s when I bought my first house. I took the money that I saved up from my 401k as a down payment on the house. I don't know if you could do that now, but what I'm saying is there were things that the 401k did personally for me that helped to get some of the things that I actually have now in life and different stuff like that. So I want to, man, get this discussion going because middle class people, we need to understand before you ever can jump way up the ladder to try to be this big shiny thing, maximize what you have now. Maximize what you have now, man. Get your mind out of them damn fantasies, man. Trying to be the next, big thing coming up. Be the small thing right now until you be the big thing. Can you handle that, man? So if your company, man, is giving away free money right now, take advantage of that while it's here because back in the past, there used to be a such thing as a pension, man. And I had the privilege of personally working for a company, believe it or not, back in 2013 that still had pensions, man. And this company was a really good one. I mean, long story short, they went out of business, but nevertheless, pensions are non-existent. So the 401k is what they're doing right now. So you're either going to stand on the sideline disagreeing all your life, or you're going to jump in and just take whatever you can to make something out of nothing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So listen, get your head in the game, man. Let's talk about this. Keep an open mind. I'm not trying to persuade you one way or the other, but I am saying if you were trying to be in a damn fantasy dream, dreaming of big lights and man, get your head out the clouds. Get your head out the clouds. You're middle class, working class. You not there yet. You can't even be in the present moment because you somewhere dreaming of something else, man. Let's stick on this. Use what we got to get what we want, man. Not in the scrupulous way, man. But anyway, let's get to the video, man. This is exciting. I'm stoked about it, man, because I'm doing it right now, man. But I got people, man, that's got a better opinion than I do. So I'm going to sit back, let them give you their dissertation, man. Let them give you their 2 cents, man. And I'll jump in every now and then, That's a deal? All right, okay, let's go.
Quadrant, we have 401k IRA max out. Kind of give some information on that.
Well, I mean, if you're an employee of a company, most companies have a benefit that
Yep.
you can contribute to a 401k. Some even will match those funds. So full, and I think this year you can put $23,000 max into a 401k. So if you are maxing out your 401k, there is tax benefits to that if you do a traditional 401k. And I don't want to spend a whole lot of time between those two right now, but if you're putting money into that, it would reduce your taxable income by the end of the year. So there's two benefits of doing that. Plus, if your company does match, like, you're getting free money just for having your job, which if you're not taking advantage of is a huge mistake in my mind.
I agree.
I have $93,000 in my 401k at 26 years old, and we're going to see exactly where it's invested.
Right off the bat, it tells me my current asset mix, and this mix is a little bit more risky.
I'm in the Vanguard Target Retirement 2060 Trust, a target date fund.
The way I understand target funds is that they are more aggressive, aka expose you to more risk when you are young, because you have more time to recover in case things go south. And then as you get to retirement age, the asset mix becomes more conservative, aka decreasing stocks and increasing bonds.
Should I be doing something else? I don't know. The beauty about all of this is that I'm allowed to change my mind. And as I'm learning, growing, I can adjust my retirement strategy.
So when you're young, you could take more
hack
risk.
Number 2 on your 401k.
Let me bring up this
Get
volume.
to $10,000 as fast as you can. Or if you have a child or a grandchild that is in there, help them get to $10,000 as fast as they can. Why? Because anything below $10,000 is fluffy, right? You need new tires on the car. Got to fix the car. You need a new refrigerator. You've got friends going to Cabo. The kids need braces. There's an unlimited amount of problems that can be solved with an amount between $1,500 and $5,000. And you're going to be tempted to do that, just like on a diet. You know, if you only lost 4 pounds, it looks easy to eat that second burrito. But once you get to $10,000, there's a psychological thing, and that 401k, that IRA becomes something with heft. There's some foundation there. And you're like, ooh, I've been petting and babying this 401k. It's grown up now into this $10,000. No, we're going to get the old refrigerator fixed, or we're going to buy used. And the same thing, if you have a child or grandchild that's in this position, a younger guy at work, you know, don't write them a check. Make them do it on their own, but if they're having a problem, help them out. Say, hey, you know what? I know you want a new refrigerator. I'll help you find one on
So
Craigslist.
basically what he's saying is once you get to a certain level of money, let me go ahead, hit right here. Once you get a certain level of money saved up, you know, it's very hard to let that go so easily on, you know, little silly purchases, because it took you a lot of effort to get to that certain amount. So what he's saying, like, man, once you get to $10,000 saved, you know, you're not going to be so quick to go out, you know, in impulse buy, because you know how long and how hard it took for you to get there, man. So it really affects your judgment, man. So here, let me go back just a little bit, just in case I overshot a little bit.
Before I tell you how I did it, I want this to be a reminder that you should never, ever, ever be comparing yourself to someone else. The 3 major factors that contributed to that: my company has an 8% match, and I was fully vested day one. Let me know if you want me to explain what that means. I was making almost $70,000 when I was 22 years old. You can only invest more when you make more. Because even if you made like $50,000 and I'm making $70,000 and we're both investing 10% of our income to our 401k, 10% of $50,000 is only $5,000. 10% of $70,000 is $7,000. And then last, I lived with my parents. I did not have a lot of bills, so I could invest more. And I actually started investing 15% of my income at first. And I'm definitely going to be a 401k millionaire.
All right, so let's get into it. So I just recently saw a poll or an article regarding those who are becoming millionaires. And the number one way it said that people are becoming millionaires in the United States these days, the number one way that they're becoming millionaires is via their 401ks. That means people are starting early and they are starting to contribute to their 401k. Check after check after check, and it's invested. Check after check after check. Check after check after check. And ultimately, over years, that becomes, that grows. And it grows into the largest amount of millionaires that are being created right now in our 401ks and 403bs. This is a powerful wealth building tool. Now, you must understand that you will pay taxes on that if it is in the traditional side of your 401k, where they are taking pre-tax money, okay, and you are investing in your 401k. One day you could have $2 million in there, and that is great, but they are going to start taking taxes out, okay? So that money is taxable. Now, there is another flip side to that, which is putting more money in the Roth side. If your job offers you a Roth 401k that is attached to your 401k, and you can opt into dollars to be put into, meaning after tax dollars to go in as well, that is even more powerful because that grows tax-free and comes out tax-free. What I do in every single paycheck is I have money going into my traditional side and I have money going into my Roth side. That is my 401k or my Roth 401k. They are one and the same. They just have two pieces, and one goes that way and one goes that way. And these are the things that we can do to actually diversify our tax base when we get old, is to have money that is pre-tax and money that is after tax. It is powerful.
Stop contributing to a Roth until you've maxed your 401k. You're receiving bad advice from 90% of the social media gurus. Here's exactly how the math works, coming from a CFP. We cover this in depth on our recent podcast. First, the Roth option, where you pay taxes first, then invest the remainder. Individual living in New York making $100,000. Their effective tax rate is 28%. $10,000 gets taxed down to $7,200. You invest that for 30 years at an assumed 8% return. The result, $72,000, which can be removed tax-free. Now, the 401k. Same $10,000 invested without taxes touching it on the way in, compounding for 30 years at that same 8% return. Result, $100,600. Now, when you remove money from that 401k, you have to pay income tax. But the average person's income drops by 25% in retirement. And that creates a disproportionate drop in effective tax rate, dropping from 28% all the way down to 16%. After tax, that $100,600 becomes $84.5 grand. Boom! $12,000 more by maxing your 401k. As you can see, the math is crystal clear. Most individuals should stop contributing to a Roth until they've maxed their 401k.
How long did you have your money in a 401k?
How many of you
How
agree
much
with
money
that?
Did you have in a 401k?
Oh, I contributed to a 401k for, I think it was about 7 years, and I had about $500,000 on it.
Damn.
Listen, well, I worked for a company that did a great match. And I've had
What was the match?
It was $2.40 for every dollar.
Wow.
When they faded out their pension plan, they rolled some of that money into their 401k plan. And it was a great company.
I wish I could be there.
How much money did you have when you pulled it out after taxes and fees?
I pulled it out in a couple different increments to do different things with it. Things for the family, cars for the kids, school. The taxes, I just remember 10% comes off the top, the early withdrawal tax. If you pull in $100 grand, there's a $10,000 penalty right there. And then you get taxed at your ordinary income, 30, 35, 39%, whatever your tax bracket is, on the rest of it. So I would say I lost close to 40% of it.
Wow.
That's
wild.
It was. It was.
I currently have like a loan out on my 401k.
Oh.
And
why? When did you do that?
I did it when I purchased my house.
You own your house?
I do.
Wait, I don't see a mortgage in here.
Yeah, there should be a mortgage. Yeah, so I bought a house back in 2022.
401k loan to buy a house?
Well, no, it wasn't always, like, it wasn't just to buy the house. It was for, like, a little bit of the down payment.
A down payment? So you borrowed your down payment from your own retirement. I don't think you understand how that worked.
Well, I feel like it's just paying. I thought it would be better than getting, like, an actual loan. I'm paying myself.
An actual loan?
Like,
yeah, but with interest.
A personal loan.
Yeah, but with interest.
But the interest goes back to you, right?
What do you mean? You think you're earning money on it?
No, I don't think I'm earning money. I think that it's just like it like gets.
Does the interest go back to
what
the
is
person?
The school system like in Alabama?
Or the bank?
What do you mean? What do you think is actually happening? Please.
So
please.
I don't like. I'm paying myself back basically, but it's not like accruing any kind of
interest.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But that interest goes back to me, right?
What the do you mean by that?
Your 401k can be wiped out in the next market crash, and nobody is telling you this. I get it. You've been told that your 401k is the best option for retirement. But what happens if the market crashes like it did in '08, when people lost 30, 40, and even 50% of their hard-earned retirement savings?
Yeah, I know some people who lost.
Here's the reality. Most people don't realize that their 401k is tied to the stock market. So if the market crashes, so does your retirement. And I'm so glad that you stumbled upon this page, because there is a safer way to protect your hard-earned retirement savings, and it's known as an indexed annuity. Fixed index annuities literally protect your money against market loss, but still puts you in a position where you can grow when the market is
Index annuity.
If you feel the way that I feel, uneasy every time.
What do you think is the biggest financial lie that's being fed to kids today?
401k, that the 401k will allow you to retire. I think it's the largest lie that's been perpetrated on the United States in the last 200 years since the USA was developed. And the fact that it's supposedly tax deferred, which is the dumbest thing in the world, because you're putting money in during your early earning years, which is your lowest taxable years, pulling it out at the end of your life, which is the highest taxable years. If you are really pulling it out of your lowest earning years like they say you are, then you have to realize one of two things. You're broke, your life sucks, and you're pulling out very small amounts of money. Because if you pull out the same amount of money that it takes to live on today, guess what? You're gonna pay the same amount of taxes you're paying now. But if you got that money out in the beginning and paid the taxes in the beginning, and now it's worth 10 or 20 million and spending out 10,000, 20, 50, 100,000 a month, all tax-free, you've never been inside of that trap. People to go in the 401k get inside of a trap.
All right, listen, let's talk. Okay, let me bring that down. Wrong one. Okay, let's talk. So everything that you hear, you hear the upside, you hear the middle, you hear the downside of it, which is good for middle class people. That's good, man. You want to hear all perspectives of it so you can understand what you're getting into, do a little more research to understand how to play the game, man. But this was great information, man. Let me know in the comments, what you think. But the point of what I'm saying all this, I want to show you what my setup is. It's not an exact amount in terms of the dollar amount and the money that you see, but I just want to show you that I'm a willing participant in the game, understanding that the 401k is not a retirement vehicle. It's not that, even though people tend to try to use it at that. My personal opinion about the 401k, which, like I said, I'm for it. I love it, because the 401k helps to really train me to understand that the basic simple things that people say to you about saving money, creating an emergency fund, saving to invest, different things like that. The 401k is actually showing you the results of when you obey those simple things. Most people, it's easier for them, for the company to take the money and put it somewhere where you can't easily reach it, for a person to actually start stocking up money, even though, like I said, the money is at risk. It's at risk to the stock market or whatever's going on in the economy. If somebody make a news post about something, what I'm saying, and if you're invested with that company, yeah, it can affect how the shares react. What I'm saying? It's a fact. So all of it is risky to a certain point, but I look at it as what I'm trying to get out of it. Who I'm trying to use the 401k to make me do something that I already know that I should be doing, because I've heard it from great people who've told me, hey, you need to be a little more frugal, you need to do this, But like I said in the beginning of the video, I was rebellious for a long time, man. I missed a lot of great opportunities, wasted a lot of money. And when I found this 401k thing way back in the day, I was in my 30s, it really helped to get me to understand and be willing to get into this particular game. But hey, let me show you my printout right now, my setup. This is showing you my setup. So currently with the company that I'm working with right now, because I'm a truck driver, they offer the pre-tax contributions to the 401k. They offer that, So when I saw that they offer that, cool, in my company, I think the highest they go up is 6%, which is fine. You take whatever you can get, because I've worked with a company before who was a retirement company, and their percentage rating was high. I mean, I think they went up to 12%, but it was a retirement company. They actually had a pension, so their setup was totally different. But you get what you get. You don't have a fit. Okay, so when I saw that they had a setup to where I can do after tax dollars, right? I got excited because I know that I'm the type of person that the money that I'm putting in for after tax, I probably would waste it doing something else. I probably would waste it, man. So when I saw that I can do pre-tax and I can do after tax, oh man, I was like, okay. And like I've received several, raises before I first started this thing, so after I started it, I went up several brackets, in terms of yearly salary. So it really started to compound, this little setup that I got with the 401k. So I'm just trying to encourage you, listen, whether you do it or not, you need to understand, you need to be thinking about where you want to be sitting later on in your life. And if you are older, the 401k can be used for other matrix, but you got to let the professionals tell you, go to an actual financial institution and kind of let them see where you at, and they can help work you out a plan. Now, I don't have a plan because this is not my area of expertise, but I just want to share with you, man, if you can max out that 401k, you can get that 401k going. I'm telling you, you can play the game with it in some kind of way. You can play the game with the 401k I have now. I took money out to start businesses outside of my company, and I was able to pay my 401k back because I didn't, overextend myself or take out a ton of money from my 401k. I only took out the money that I need to do with what I was trying to do. But the 401k allowed me to take a loan from my own money, do what I need to do to set that up, pay it back, and keep the ball rolling, So if you're with the same company or you with another company that has the 401k, you see, you can play around with it, man. You probably can't do huge moves, but you can make some moves, man, if you get educated about it, man. So that's the part that I'm getting excited about. You can save towards something. You can actually be investing in something. And with the money, and as the money increases, like you say, you can see on your screen, my employer is also contributing too, so it's not just my money. The employer is actually putting money in too. So when you look at it from those matrix, man, the money is growing, at the speed that it's growing, and the more educated you are in terms of investing and different things like that, and how to do that stock market thing, the better you will be in many cases, because I've known people who have used that 401k, man, understood investment, got the right investments, and they got the ball rolling. So about time it was time for them to retire, man, they're sitting high on the hog, man. And that's what I desire for anybody that's listening to this, and you can take with it, what you will. I'm hoping that you vibing with me. But hey, listen, if you got something from this, thank you for hanging out with me, watching these reactions, man. Until next time, this is Working Class Rich. This is Starsky Inspires, and I'm always telling you, think better than the rest.